And I am your host Washi, and in today's lecture we shall be discuss the VBA Excel message box function. We explore various aspects of this function, including style values, command buttons, return values, icon alongside the messages, and the arguments of the function. By the end of tutorial, you shall be able to create dynamic and interactive message boxes in your VBA projects. The message box function in VBA is used to display the message box to the user with a specific message and various customizable options. It has the following complete argument. Number one, prompt, which is necessary, required. This argument specifies the message or question to the displayed in the message box. It is a required argument and can be of any string data type. Number two argument is buttons. This is optional. The button argument determines which type of button should be appear in the message box. It is an optional argument and can take any of these values. The button type VB OK only. This, if we use this style VB OK only, it will display only the OK button. And if we use the style VB OK cancel, then it display on the message box OK and cancel button. Number three style value VB abort retry ignore. Display abort retry and ignore button on the message box. And next VB yes no cancel style value, then display yes no and cancel button on the message box. If we use VB yes no, then display yes and no button on the message box. And last one VB retry cancel, display retry and cancel button on the message box. Number fourth argument is title. It is also optional. Title argument sets the caption or the title of the message box. It is an optional argument and can be of string data type. Number five, help file. It is also optional. Help file argument specifies the help file to be used for the message box. It is an optional argument and can be of string data type. Context argument is also optional. It is used with the help file argument to specify the help context number. It is an optional argument and can be of numeric data type. Display argument determines the and the last argument of the uh, message box is display argument determines the appearance of the message box and its button. It is an optional argument and can take one or more of the following values using bitwise or operator or plus sign. VB critical message icon. VB question if it will display the question mark icon on the message box. VB exclamation, then it displays the exclamation point icon on the message box. VB information, then it will display the information icon on the message box. VB default button 1. If we use VB default button 1, then the focus will be on the first button of the message box. If we use VB default button 2, then second button is the default button, and so on. If we use VB system model, Then system model, uh, the user must respond the message box before doing anything else in the application. VB message box help button, add a help button to the message box. If we use VB message box set foreground, it specifies the message box window as the foreground window. VB message box right text is right aligned. VB message box return reading right to left reading text direction. The return value from the message box function represents the button clicked by the user. The return values for the button are as follows. If we user press the VB OK button, then user click the VB OK, then uh, if we user click the OK button, then the return value will be VB OK. If user click the cancel button, then VB value return value will be VB cancel. If user click the abort button, then the return value will be abort. If user click the retry button, then VB retry is the return value. If user click the ignore button, then the return value will be VB ignore. If user click the yes, then return value will be yes, VB yes. User click no, then the return value will be VB no. But before we proceed, do not forget to hit subscribe button and notification bell as you wouldn't miss our upcoming tutorial. Alright, jumps into the Excel and uncover the magic of VBA Excel message box feature. Open the Excel and press Alt F11 to open the Visual Basic for Application Editor. I already I already write the examples for you for the message box function. In in this example, we use the message box function and module one function custom message box style function is create. Here we declare the response variable as VBBox result data type and then assign the user response yes or no to the response variable. Uh, uh, Here we use the message box. This is the prompt. Do you want to proceed? Then comma. This is the button types we use in this message box is yes no button, and this is the icon which display on the message box VB question mark, and uh, on the default focus our the focus is on the button 2 mean no button. Our focus of the cursor is on the no button, which is we use VB default button 2, and this is the title of the message box confirmation. We run this and the check the result. This is our title confirmation. This is our icon followed by the message. We use the question mark VB question, and this is the prompt. Do you want to proceed? And we use the VB yes no button. These are the button, and if we then we use the if else statement or we check the response. If we click the yes button, the return value of the button will be VBS. If response equal to VBS, then message box will appear and prompt is you choose to proceed. Action extended successfully, messages appear in the box or and followed by the icon VB information and title of the box is succeed. If VB yes, VB no, uh, if we press the no button, then uh, it check the uh, mm, response is equal to VBS. Then mm, uh, it if we press the no, then it will leave the this and go to the point to the after the else or message box will display will appear and prompt of the message box is action cancelled and the icon is exclamation and title of the box is cancelled. We run the macro and check the result. This is if we press the yes, it will check, it will return VBS and the message box will appear with the message you choose to proceed executed successfully with the exclamation sign and information sign and the title of the message box is success. You press OK, it will return back. Now we check if we press no, then what happen? If we press the no, then the message box will appear with exclamation sign action cancelled and the title of the message box cancelled and press OK. It will. This is our first example, and in this example we are using message box function to display the confirmation message with yes and no button along with a question mark. We have along with a question mark. Yes and no button along with a question mark. Yes and no button along with a question mark. We have assigned the user response to the variable response using VB message box result data type. Depending on the user choice, we display the success or cancellation message. Let's run the code and interact with the message box. We say now we take the another example for the message box function. In this function, we use the input. We take the user input and display with the message box function. Here we write the function name message box return value. In this module, we write the code to check the return value and how to use these values. First of all, we declare a user input as a string variable, then take the user input through the input box. Mm, please enter your name. This message will appear in a box and user input required. Then we check the user input. If user input not equal to null, then we declare a variable as a VB message box result response and assign the user input, assign the uh, assign the yes no cancel button along with the question mark and title of the message box will be feedback. Then we uh, then we use the select statement uh, and check the return value of the user. If select case response variable, if case is VBA, then the message box will appear great. We are glad to enjoy VBA Excel, followed by the VB information icon, and the title of the message box will be positive feedback. If case is VB no, then message box the message will be appear. We are sorry to hear that. Please share your feedback with us. Followed by the exclamation icon, and the uh, title of the message box is negative feedback. If the user press the cancel, in this case, the message box will appear your response has been cancelled. VB information along with the information icon, and the title of the message box is cancelled. If user did not ge- uh, enter the name, then the pointer will be go after the else statement, and the message box will be appear with the message you did not enter the name, please try again, with a icon exclamation icon, and the title of this message box is name missing. Now we run this macro and see the result. Here we write the name and press OK. The message box will appear with the message hello Washi, do you like VBA? It will get the user feedback. If I press the yes, then it will display the message information great. We are glad you enjoy VBA Excel, and the title of the message box is positive feedback. Again, we run, write the name here. If we press uh, no button, the return value will be no, and the message box, in this case negative feedback message box will be appear, and with the message we are sorry to hear that, please share your feedback with us, with the exclamation icon. And the last, if we press the cancel button, then the message then the return value will be uh, VP cancel, and in this case the message your response has been cancelled along with the information icon, and the title of the message box is cancelled will appear. And the last, if we did not uh, input the name, write the name and press OK, the message box with the title name missing will appear with the message you did not enter your name, and please try again with the exclamation sign. In this example, we are combining the message box function with input box function. We capture the username using input box, and then use message box to ask us for feedback on VBA Excel. We utilize select statement to handle the different response yes, no, or cancel. And already we run and check the um, uh, run the code and interact with the user feedback. And the last example is with I write the function message box with icon. Here Message box, this is the prompt, the operation completed successfully with the icon VB information or operator plus VB message box help button. Here the help button will also display with the OK button. And the title of the box is status. Now if we run this macro information icon along with the message the operation completed successfully, the VB help button is also we use in message box command function, and title of the message box is status here. You press OK. Now, in this example, we are using the message box function to display an informational message with a help of button icon. With a help button icon. This icon allows user to access additional information or assistance related to. We already run and see the message box with the icon. When we run the message box with icon macro and we observe the message box with the help button icon appear. Congratulations, you have explored various aspects of VBA Excel message box function, including style values, command button, return values, and icon alongside the message. Armed with this knowledge, you can create interactive and user-friendly boxes in your VBA project. In the next lecture, we will take a step further and discuss the input function, which allows us to receive input from the user. Stay tuned for more exciting VBA tutorials. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to Learn with Washi and hit the notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of our upcoming VBA tutorials. Thank you for watching and I shall see you in the next video. Happy Excel VBA coding.